y'all. It's me, your host, Coach Pilar Arthur Sneed. Thanks so much for joining me here for another episode of The Last 10th. You can see I have a new backdrop here, y'all. I made a little something new. Last year, I had an artist commission a character of me, I guess, a portrait of me in my running life. And so that's what I'm using for the last 10th promo now. So I'm super excited to have this up here. So if you get a chance to tune in on YouTube, check out my new last 10th podcast logo. So that's the first thing. And then today, I am so excited. You know that I'm going to say that. I know I'm going to say it. I'm so excited to welcome another fantastic, super inspiring runner to the show. Today, I have with me Kennith Pinckney from California on the show today. He is the founder of Live, Run, Boundless and a super positive guy. Kenneth, welcome to the show.
Thank you just for just giving me this opportunity to be on your show.
Absolutely.
Just gratitude for me for this opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I am super excited that you are here. So, Kenneth, where I usually start is I usually like to start by having guests introduce themselves. So, tell me a little bit about you. Anything that you would like to share?
Oh man, well, why do I start with? I was like going back and forth with this for the past few days, so a little bit about who I am. And the funny side, I just like to say I'm just an old country boy from born and raised in South Carolina, trying to do some good.
Okay.
But this life has been a journey. I live in San Diego. I've lived in San Diego for a few years. The Navy brought me to San Diego like 10, 11 years ago. Lost track of the time. And during all this process, I kind of like happened to fall in love with this running thing,
Okay.
And it was yes. So I can you say that's a little bit
just a taste.
Just a little taste. Yeah. So
you were in the Navy. What did you do in the Navy?
Oh man, that's a whole nother story itself. I didn't plan on joining the Navy. I was like 29 years old when I joined the Navy. Actually, I would never live in New Orleans, Louisiana, at the time, a year after Hurricane Katrina. Yes. I take a chance of going to the New Orleans from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
And so I didn't call the Navy, but the Navy would call me because I had some friends that kind of like talked to me about joining the Navy. Yes. And it kind of spoke into existence. Like one day somebody tell me I'm gonna join the Navy. I kind of laugh about it. Yes. 29, can't swim.
Okay.
And so no way I would join the Navy. I work at a shipyard, making pretty good money in the shipyard. But the shipyard life was tough for me. I did not like during work. I was not good at my job working in the shipyard. But I got let go. And by then I want to go back home to South Carolina. I haven't lived I lived in South Carolina since I was 18, but I moved around different other places. I moved to New Orleans too. And so, but eventually I started joining the Navy, So I did 4 years active duty. My time in the Navy 4 years. So I was like, I would like administration work and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I got out of active duty. Then I got before I got active duty, I was stationed in San Diego. And so I got active duty, went to reserve. I was going to move back to South Carolina, but I met my wife here in San Diego.
Okay.
Joined and went to Navy Reserve. Went back to school, got my degree.
Okay.
So as a reserve, I do logistics, special a little bit, So
you're still in the reserves.
I'm still in the reserve, still in the reserve. Yeah, 'cause I was late. I was 29 when I joined.
Wow.
And So go ahead.
So when did you join?
I joined in 2007.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it wasn't my plan. I didn't plan to join at 29. It wasn't.
Sure.
It just kind of like one thing led to another,
Right.
I did that the path. I did a path by that I need to be set on to get to where I'm at right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
thought about joining the military,
Yeah.
but what I discovered, I did Army
Yeah.
ROTC
Yeah.
in
Yeah. Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
And what I discovered about myself is I'm not very good at following orders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I would have been the worst
Yeah.
military person. I mean,
Yeah.
at least to start,
Yeah.
obviously, the military's job is to
Yeah.
shape and mold you into
Yeah.
someone who can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought about it, and
Yeah.
my husband was actually in the Navy, so he
Oh,
was in the
nice.
Navy
Nice.
for uh, 12, 12 years. He was a
Yeah.
Navy nuke, so I understand very
Yeah.
much,
Yeah.
Navy life. I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? The following order wasn't the toughest thing for me. I mean, cause I grew up as a kid. My dad was in the military in the Army. And now I could take the yell and the fuss to come. My dad, he was hard, And but my biggest struggle, the biggest story for me in the Navy, especially after duty, was learning how to swim. That's another story on myself. I had a hard time overcoming that. I like to say hill, one of my hills in life. I could put like running hills compared to the hills in life I had to overcome. And swimming was a hill I had to overcome. 29, couldn't swim. They put me in the 3 feet pool. Imagine going to the pool hall with a bunch of 18 years old.
Yes.
And me, I had to went to 3 feet. So I had to get over my fear.
Yes.
In the water, and then had to overcome. Was I overcome my fear? I had to overcome learning how to flow and swim.
Yes.
So I went to 3 feet. Then I went to the 5 feet.
Yes.
And then the swim instructor, he told me to go out to the 12 feet and dive by the diving board. And
not in the same day, right?
Well, it was the same day, I had to do 5 feet. Then after that, at the end of the day, I go to the 12 feet and dive. So my first time going to the diving board in 12 feet, I looked down like I said, oh, snap, But the thing about that, I could say it took me 50 times to pass my swim call, 50 times.
Wow.
Now, I didn't graduate from my graduating class in time in boot camp. I had to hold back a month. So a whole month in December, swimming was my life. Every morning, afternoon, I live it, breathe it. It was just, that's all I do is swim. Wow. And so that story, I think it's amazing. It's like a story I think is, for me, like inspiration, because I thought I was not going to make it too. And I was stuck in the 5 feet the longest. I went to 12 feet back to the 5 feet. It was like, man, I couldn't, but my last day, just, it was like happy thoughts, going up that 12 feet. Yes. And once I dived off, I felt good. My 12th time, climb up my 12th time, going up that platform, so, but it all took me 50 times to pass my swim quad. I went to the pool hall 50 times.
Wow.
And a whole month of December, that's my life, while I was in boot camp.
Wow. So,
yeah.
But they knew when you applied, they knew that you couldn't swim.
Well, a lot of people couldn't swim. I did a lot of people that couldn't swim, Yeah, but I just had a more difficult time, it was just more challenging.
I had no idea. I would have thought that, it's the Navy. The requirement will be that you come and you know how to swim. You know what I'm saying? I would think that would be a requirement to being in the service. But okay, they're like, listen, it's okay if you don't know how to swim. That's cool.
They would teach you. Yeah, okay. Believe me, and believe it, they taught me. I mean, I could, make them more fun. I would go to the pool hall so much. One of the swim instructors had a nickname for me. That was for my eye surgery. He called me Crazy Eyes, because my eyes were lazy.
Oh God, no!
Yeah. And I think back on it. I think that was awful. That was I didn't think about that, but I really didn't.
At the time, you were just like, wait.
I try to keep pass. I just trying to pass my swim call.
I can't hear you. I'm here for the swimming.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I think it was meant to be, because I could easily give up, but I think it was meant to be for a spiritual aspect of stuff. Absolutely. For spiritual, I think it was it was meant to be. It's meant to be for this. Have meant to be to do what they're doing what I'm doing right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
Yeah.
2007, you join the Navy.
Yes.
Pass your swim quals.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward. Okay, so you've been in the Navy 10, 20 years almost, practically.
Yeah. Getting close. No, for my years.
Yeah.
Years ago.
So, and now you live in San Diego, so far from your home of South Carolina.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about, how you got involved in the sport of running, and how does that fit with your Navy life? Yeah.
That's a great question. I like to tell people it started with me failing my Navy weigh-in. But actually, as I think about it, I think it started way before I joined the Navy. When I was in my mid-20s, while I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. And after I decided to change my life from just getting drunk, partying, and go out to club and watch and take a more and just change my life, And when that happened, the place where I living at, they had like a gym area, and they had like a treadmill. And then I got a little bit of first taste of really trying to get healthy. I do my best to get healthy. And that was, and then I moved to another area in Charlotte, where like a nice neighborhood in Charlotte, North Carolina. I see a lot of people running in a park, or like I said, I started doing that a little bit. But other places I moved to before I joined Navy, I just like a lot of twists and turns in my life.
Absolutely.
I want to get healthy, but I didn't really have I didn't know how to really. Now I've been wanting to run a little bit, but I didn't know a whole lot about running, conditioning, and all that. And then eventually I joined the Navy, and my time active duty, and part of my time reserve, I struggled past my Navy weigh-in, my physical test, my running test, my mile and a half. You see your husband in the Navy, so your husband probably explain some of that to you. About run the mile and a half, and how to get measured, get tape. When it's hard. Man, I always struggle. Running my mile and a half, I did not like it. I mean, I dread that moment. I had to run see it forever.
Yes.
I had a certain timing got to meet. And just passed my weigh-in call to get measured. Because the weight limit or whatever, stuff like that. So I was on the edge until that one time I just end up failing my Navy weigh-in.
Wow.
And so it seemed terrible to fail your Navy weigh-in, could be in your record, never fail your Navy weigh-in. But that probably was the best thing for me, because it was a wake-up call that I need to make a change. And I did not want to let that happen again. I don't want to come close to getting tape or measure, or struggle running my mile and a half. And so that was my one reason why, because of Navy. But I think about being from the South, being Black in the community, and seeing family members and people in the community with diabetes, high blood pressure, seeing family legs get amputated, and all lots of health condition, and obesities and stuff like that. That was my other reason why, let's say I got to make a change,
Absolutely.
And so I need some accountability.
Yes.
So my wife to hold me accountable for the food I eat, for not eating seconds, because I like to eat a second plate, and it's not gonna help me, So I had to solve that and change what I eat too, eat better, eat healthier, And so I go on probably working out more. And I work in the Marine Base of California there, and I go to the gym with the Marines when I go to, and running. I need to run by myself. I hear a true visit Bonita called Royal Park. Shout out to Royal Park. I'm not going to send people shout out during this interview.
Absolutely.
And I just need to run by myself a lot around Royal Park, like a 3.5 mile loop, I think, around Royal Park. And I just run by myself a lot until on some Saturdays, called a group called Bonita Royal Runners.
Yeah.
They need to start me, tell me, hey, run with us. I said, I don't know, maybe not, I don't know. And then this Saturday, they did ask me again to run with them. And so eventually, okay, I'm gonna run with y'all guys. I'm gonna run and see.
Yeah.
Boy, always eye opener. And I could not, they were fast. They were fast.
Yes.
And so during that time where I feel my weight, I was 240 pounds, but that's not the big thing, be the weight, 240 pounds for Navy standard, like 240 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's, I'm tall, but I know my condition. I realized, if I didn't make that change, it would have taken me down a road I didn't want to go, Yeah. So, but like I said, get back to the running, the Bonita Road runners, finally, okay, I needed that. I need that challenge,
Yes.
And then during the weekdays, the coach of Bonita Road, I called Coach Tony. Shout out to my coach Tony. Like a Tuesday and Thursday morning training session.
Yes.
We teach runners, from all different walks of life. We didn't have to pay him. We do because he has the love of running, love and helping people. Mm-hmm. So he was a big part of me of becoming the person for running and learning tempo, learning pace, and all of that.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate Coach Tony. That was like around 2014. And they still close to me today, even though I'm not, coaching me like he knew at the beginning, but I still now forget, how he helped me out,
Absolutely.
So definitely, so it kind of started at the beginning of the process to become the transformation.
Absolutely.
So
when you didn't pass your quals, was there any negative impact on your career at that time? I mean, what happened?
It was on my record, for like it was on my record for a little bit. So, but it didn't stick with me. I think it was great. I went from failing my Navy win after my first Navy Reserve Unit. Now I came to my second Navy Reserve Unit or command. I changed that very to being a assistant CFL leader, assistant Command Fitness Leader. So I mean, I look bad, I look bad first, but I was able to overcome that. And now it's probably Navy. I don't get my record now,
Absolutely.
It's been so long ago. Yeah. So, but outside Navy, I mean, I needed that. I needed to fail all to make a change. I needed to make that. I needed to fail. I needed. Yeah.
Let's talk about that. That is something that I think is really key for a lot of people who make really big changes in their life, and that is failure. A lot of people are afraid to fail because they feel like, oh, people are going to look at me and say, oh, I failed. You failed and this is bad. So talk to me a little bit more about that.
I didn't plan on failing.
Of course, nobody does.
I know. I mean, but I look at it that, what the best way to explain it? I look at it sometimes if you want something in life, you want to achieve something, maybe. Life all about learning. You're gonna learn, all to learn. You gotta go through some stuff, and it's something it's a process I had to go through. All the kind of person I am right now, for this, not only for a physical aspect, for my mental aspect.
Absolutely.
Of it. Also, it's hard to fail. Nobody want to fail, in life, but it's more about what you're going to do and how could you overcome it? What could you do to change to be better from it? To hopefully not to let it happen again.
Absolutely.
So what could you take from it?
Or at least go ahead. Go ahead.
And some people handle it different. Some people in my situation, when it happened, they could continue to do the same thing and sliding by and not make a change. Okay, it wasn't easy, it wasn't easy to make that change. But once I realized what I could do, I saw a transformation, what I could do, not only physically but mentally. Because the training with my coach, Tuesday and Thursday morning, learn about it. Just really, I would test it, the train and keep coming back for more. It was a suffer fest, but I keep coming back for more. I see how I was changing, and see and see, and what the world want to news, is it where what I want to do? I forget exactly, but just knowing that I had limits on myself, and by
Mm,
seeing that failing and just want to do something about it and see what I could do,
yes.
I like able to like make that breakthrough and
Yes.
not set limits or what I think I could or could not do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You've said so many things. So many things. So I wanna
Go
touch
ahead.
on something that you said in terms of like making a decision
Mm,
to take on running as this new challenge. You
mm.
mentioned that you're like, I wanted to like stop going out partying, being in the
Yeah, yeah,
club,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that was part of your transformation. And then you've
yeah,
also mentioned that you had somewhat of a spiritual transformation. So
yeah,
talk to
yeah.
me a little bit more. Are those two things? Do you think
Well,
those two things are tied together?
the spiritual transformation started years from while I was in my mid 20s, while I was living
Mm,
in Charlotte, North
mm,
Carolina.
mm,
The spiritual aspect of my life, you know,
mm,
it started way before the running for like transformation with running, you
mm,
know. And so my spiritual journey started like, while I stopped drinking and smoking in my mid 20s. But like for physical health, that started later on in life,
mm,
But I think my faith in God, I think
mm,
God, and I think I always wanted to be fit, but I didn't know how to. It took me
mm,
like almost 20 something years
mm,
to get to where I'm at right
mm,
now, to
mm,
think about it,
mm,
Cause that like, well, I mean, that spiritual transformation, the getting drunk and wasted and party, that was
mm,
like in 2000, year 2000,
mm, mm,
beginning of 2000 and wherever,
mm,
So
mm,
well, I was, from like the spiritual aspect.
mm.
But I believe my spiritual, my running journey, I think I led to the path to finding my purpose. I think just running
Yes.
and able to inspire others, I think
You got it.
alrighty. Yes, yeah, but so I left for at left for like I think it's a connection. I believe it's connected with the spiritual aspect of stuff,
Mm.
in my running life, you know, and just it just I know I think turning a passion into a purpose or something like that,
Mm.
it took me years of finding this. Yes, how to explain that? Sometimes kind of hard to explain the spiritual path, my spiritual
I
religion.
understand. I
Yeah, yeah. It's a
understand.
couple. Once I make the spiritual change,
Yes,
I think I had desire to want to run, to want to get healthy,
absolutely.
but I had to go do some stuff, to allow me to be in this place
Absolutely.
in life, and all part of the story, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yes,
Absolutely.
yeah,
So you have started this company
yes,
called Live Run
yeah,
Boundless,
yes,
and
yes.
I'm going to assume that this is what you feel is a part of your purpose that you have found in your life.
I feel like I feel like it is, cause it was a part of my plan, from when I feel my way in and trying to lose weight. Because
Mm,
my first thought, I just want to lose weight for Navy Reserve, and
mm,
healthy,
absolutely.
But that was like 2014,
Mm,
and during that time, throughout the past few years, um, and be part of the running community. And I say the trail running community, but also the road community. Also, I
sure.
got now, and the connections I made throughout the years, and the love I have for this, and vastly and the trails. I always running the road a lot, but
Yes.
once I found out about the trails out
Yes.
here, it was a wrap. I mean,
Right.
just being out in the trails, the
Yes.
hills, um, what what a beautiful thing,
Absolutely.
and just embracing the running community. So many connections I made to make throughout the years, and just like family. I could run out the running groups, from Bonita Run Runner, Coach Tony for the YMCA Train Runner group, the Para Bravos, saying people shout outs right now.
Absolutely.
And the Usher Bugs, and many others,
Absolutely.
And just the community of runners. And just one day, not too long ago, a couple of years ago, we run uphill we do a lot of hills, a lot of trails. Brutal, beat me downhill and trails,
Okay.
And sometimes I had like a courage myself, but also to encourage others, I'd be yelling and screaming stuff,
Absolutely.
blah, 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 And I had a mantra, I knew to come up with a mantra: love it, hate it, embrace it.
Yes.
Because the trail running, you love it, you hate it, to run up the hills, you're going to love it, you're going to hate it, but you got to embrace it, Yes. You're going to hate run up the hills, and say, why I'm doing this, by embracing it, because you're going to come out better for it.
Absolutely.
So I need to say that this mantra all the time. And so one day, there's this young lady, a good friend of mine. I'm gonna give her a shout out to Erica Bass Cunningham. She kind of the day about the trail running community. We run trails, we take pictures, we party and we eat. So
yes.
One day she recording people, and she recorded me saying love it, hate it, embrace it. She asked me again, say that again. I said, love it, hate it, embrace it.
Yes.
But I was hating it right now going down the hill. So she put on Facebook, and I saw myself saying love it, hate it, embrace it, and just like a light bulb just pop in my head. I said,
yes.
Love it, hate it, embrace it. What can I do with it? I come up with a phrase or call like coin this my phrase, but I couldn't do that. I was ideals were running through my head. What can I do with love it, hate it, embrace it? And I maybe come up with a logo or some apparel, maybe. And that's like a crazy ideal, to do something like that for myself. I decided to run with it and see where it takes me. So I have some help, come up with a logo, and a brand name. Then another friend of mine tell me I need to come up with one word, just one word that was like a slogan or whatever.
Yes.
And I thought about boundless. And why boundless? Because like in sports, you got out of bound, basketball, football, you got boundaries. When running trails, ain't no boundaries,
Absolutely.
And not in life, which is some boundaries are good in life, but some boundaries it's not good in life, And so I take the contrast the trail life and regular life, and think about balance, and that was the perfect word to use,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like trail running and just being out in nature embodies that idea of no boundaries that you really need to be concerned with. And then also you mentioned earlier, you mentioned that for yourself, you felt like you had placed a lot of limitations on yourself.
Yes, correct.
And so through running, you found, I don't need any of these boundaries.
Yes.
I don't need these limitations.
Absolutely. And I learned a lot from running. People ask me, do I do a run? Yeah, but it's much bigger than me. Running, I not only just run because of my health, I run it because of the joy. I could be running the trails, best out the hills. It's meditation for me. I run with people, I run by myself. I could get away and reflect and think. And running helped me get to school. I went back to school, get my degree, and then running helped me just especially early in the morning, I find peace and calm. Running the trails, the hills. I got a certain place called my playground that I go to. Just yesterday, in the middle of the afternoon, and I ran to my playground. Nobody was around. It was around a nice lake. I stopped for a bit and just meditate and just really and just
Love that. Love that. Absolutely love that. So here is my big question. I hope I say the name of this mountain correctly. Mount Cucamonga.
Okay. Okay.
8,000.
Oh yeah.
859 feet. One of the highest peaks in the San Gabriel Mountains.
Yes.
And you have climbed it.
Yes.
You've also climbed, am I to understand this correctly? You've also climbed Mount is it Giorgiano, Giorgino?
Yeah, Giorgino. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I'm not bad with names myself. So yeah.
11,503 feet in elevation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Kenneth, okay, before we talk about that. So I was in this vert challenge over the course of July. I was in this vert challenge. And people were, racking up vert like it was nothing. Now where I live is not a particularly hilly area. We are surrounded by mountains, but like most places, you have to kind of travel to get to those places. So, during the week, Monday through Friday, I'm not really able to get out to those places. And I'm not familiar with them. So it's like, I don't want to go and like try to go do that by myself. So I did me, and I'm very proud of it.
That's right. Okay.
I did in my little town where my hills are 93 feet for the entire month of July. I did about 1,600 feet of vert.
Oh man,
I'm proud of myself.
There you go. You got to do what you got to do. Wherever they're available. Yeah.
So I just thought I would share that. Right?
I love it. I love it.
I hear these numbers and I'm just like,
I know.
So tell me about that. Tell me about that.
Oh man. One of it was a great experience, the other one wasn't. You can see a little bit of my bio. One of them, it was a suffer fest for me. When I got to the highest, I was climbing that elevation. I could feel it taking effect in my body. And I ain't going my way, coming back down. Oh man, it was brutal coming back down. I mean, I was yakking, spilling my guts out. I'm grateful to have friends with me. During that time, I had to stop. It was miserable, I had other hiker that was coming down and trying to help me out, giving me pickle juice and all of that. But oh man, it was a suffer fest.
Was it because it was just so high? Or
I think so. Yeah, high. Maybe the eating, the nutrition was off, and all of that combination, a bunch of stuff, But somebody, they called my friend, we called the medic helicopter to come for me. I heard the helicopter, I heard it, but they couldn't find me. And they could not find me. They were searching, seeking, but they could not find me. But I was like struggling. It was slow journey down the hill, the mountain. But somehow at the last 3 miles, I had to get myself together, somehow managed to get myself together and walk back. But man, will I do it again? Yeah. And then but that's not the only time,
That's great.
I tell the story. I went to a race in Baja, Mexico, and I do a lot of hills during the week, but I didn't do that training for Baja. I took my first 50K for about 30 something miles, 31, 32 miles.
Yes.
Up in Baja.
Yeah.
It was mountains. It was like I saw the hill and it was like little people up the hills. I see they just I like to tell people I left part of my soul out there in Baja, Mexico.
Goodness.
Yeah, I got a DNL for that race, but I got DNL for people don't know if it did not finish.
Yes.
But you know what? I probably would do it again.
Absolutely.
And my first trail race, in 2014, 2015, my first trail marathon. And I completed it, but the last 10 so mile I was cramping, I hit the wall, all of that. But I was able to finish it, but I said I need to go back and do it again. And so I skipped the following year. I went back and doing it again. I felt much better the second time. And just live and learn from this, So yeah, so I had a lot of suffer fest moments, and but for some reason, I will put I wanted to go back at it again because that's the love-hate relationship running trails and hills,
The phrase that you had was, what was, again, give it to me one more time. It was love it, hate it,
embrace it.
And it's clear, Kenneth, that you have embraced the suck at every single turn. You have done it.
Yeah, definitely. And learning how to, and just in life too, I like to contrast running and life. Because life's going to be full of hills you have to go through, you're going to be hating life sometime. Well, you have to go do it, and you got to climb that hill to get to where you want to get at. Absolutely. Because when you reach to the top, when you see the peak in life over that hill and you see the beauty and see where you come from, how far you climb, and so, and I make it all worth it.
Absolutely.
So you got to learn to embrace the love-hate of life, it's hard, sometimes, but learn to embrace it and find a way to overcome it.
Absolutely. So you have your own show that you do.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your show.
Oh man, one thing led to another. I'd say it like that. First it started with the apparel, and then it started with just like kind of to talk about and share my life with people, whether family, people in church, co-workers, and just by inspiration talk to my co-workers and people I know. Kind of share my story, so, but then some of the people, close friends tell me, actually like to write a book or do something like that, and so I decided maybe just one day maybe just try to do a website and share my story, but not only share my story, but share other people's story on the website, At first it started just some close friends in the running community, people I already know. And after they wanted to share their story, allow me to share the story on my website, share it to the world. And tell them to write down their bio, send a picture, and they was open to doing it. And I was like amazed. I called it my COVID-19 project. I started at the beginning of last year.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
I started this right in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah,
it was, and similarly to you, I had this moment, I was out on a run with a friend and just was kind of like, wouldn't it be great if there was a podcast where you could talk to people about running and you could talk to, and I wanted to talk to diverse runners. I wanted to talk to Black and brown people, women, people who don't normally get the spotlight because, they just don't. So same.
Yeah, definitely. Amen. Yeah, that's right. Amen. Yeah,
here we are.
Here we are. That's all I love it. I love it. Together, there we go, doing our thing,
Yes.
And so I hope that we continue to do it,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it started with people in the community I'm part of, and then kind of expanded to more well-known people.
Yes.
And just the gratitude, another word for me last year, gratitude.
Yes.
For people that allow me to interview them,
Yes.
And open people who well know in the trail running world. And
Dean Carnassus, correct?
Yes.
That's amazing.
I know I just kind of went out there, put myself out there, and using social media in a positive way, and bringing that, to the table.
Absolutely.
And I decided to just reach out to him, say yes or say no. And just like so many others,
Yes.
For the Sally Murray, for Sabrina Stanley,
Absolutely.
for the Jamal Currys, for many people. I've also not to forget about people back in my own town, because we got some amazing runners in my own little in the community in San Diego area. You got some amazing runners, amazing people, And and so it wouldn't be live around balance without the people that help me out in the community. I want to be able to do this. I definitely, it's a gratitude for me for the gratitude able to do this. Absolutely. And I do say crazy for me to be doing this, and yeah, so I never thought, and
Same.
yeah. And so, and just being inspired by other podcasts on YouTube,
Absolutely.
people I watch from, and I kind of like, yeah. So it just, this a path that I didn't expect to be on, but I'm grateful for it.
I love it. And I feel very much the same way. I am
Yeah.
blown away
Yeah.
every day, every week, really. Every time I have someone on the show, I'm just like, I can't even
Yeah.
believe that
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing now.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Who would have ever thunk it? This from
You know.
someone who used to say, I would see somebody running down the street and I would say, who does that? Like, who runs?
Yeah.
And they actually like it.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy. Yeah, I know.
But Kenneth, again, here we are.
I know. Yeah. And I know what it'd be like enjoying just doing trails, running hills, and do all of that. Because where I'm from, we don't have hills. We don't have a whole lot of trails back in South Carolina. That's my small town. People don't do that where I'm from, where I'm born, or where I come from. We don't run trails. We don't climb hills. So to step out your norm and go out of my limit, what maybe it was limit, what a dog couldn't do, and do something like, that people like me probably do normal do or whatever, I don't really put it, yeah, and just be able to do it and just have a love for it, yeah.
So what do people think in your hometown of all that you have done so far?
That's a great question. I had a sworn conversation a couple of years ago with some relatives, some older relatives, my aunt, uncle, and about me running trails and hills, and thinking like, running hills and trails, what is that? Or something like that, but yeah, or maybe some, because maybe some do get it, maybe some don't, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, some, because it's not a whole lot for my hometown for opportunity of doing something like this, just be out in nature, we in the country, in the woods and stuff like that. But it's totally different from being out on the trails and exploring, and it's, but I'm amazed all the time, to be doing this.
Absolutely.
Being my age, being with the South, I grew up, and know that I never experienced nothing like this growing up as a kid, Yeah.
So being able to be out and move your body, in nature is something different, because obviously, you have nature is really, it's everywhere, but it's a different experience when you are participating in, as you mentioned, but you're participating in it, as you mentioned before, by moving your body through it, and then you become kind of amazed that your body A can do that, and then B, you're like, wow, this exists.
Definitely.
It's twofold,
And I know. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like when I first got started, I need to run around Rural Park, all the time, by myself, like, And then a friend of mine, she tell me about another trail outside the park. Because the park, everybody be at the park, Royal Park. Everybody know about Royal Park. But a friend of mine tell me now another place. As you go a little further, it's like a campsite, and a lake where not too many people be at, and lots of hills, rolling hill. And when I went, so I found out about that. Oh man, just like this is where I belong.
All right.
And I go to the path that let people travel, out there, and so yeah.
Awesome. So Kenneth, as we sort of wrap up this episode here, is there anything that I have not asked you that you would like to share?
Oh man, trying to think. What have you not asked me? I really, can't think of anything at the moment, but just
that means I did a good job.
yes, you have, I just appreciate able to share a little bit of my journey with you, hopefully with your audience.
Absolutely.
It just, I believe was possible.
Absolutely.
I thought it was impossible, and I didn't see this happening. But I'm just the gratitude that, and it's like a spiritual journey that I just got this opportunity to do what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
so
just
go ahead. I would say go ahead.
I just ready to take on more challenges. I really, ready to take on more challenges. Do a couple. I'm gonna make an attempt to do a couple more 50K this year. And later on this year, I'm gonna make an attempt to do my first 50 miler.
Wow.
And
wow,
so
wow.
And to see how it goes.
All right, I know you can do it, and I know that even if it is not successful, based on what I have learned about you today, it matters not, because you will continue and do it again. Because for you, it seems like failure is a motivating factor. It propels you to go forward and just continue and do better and more.
Yes.
So, regardless of the result of these attempts, I have no doubt it will be successful.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. No doubt. You got to go out there. You got to put yourself out there. And it taught me just learn by being vulnerable. I know being vulnerable and just really, all of this, and just really I'll find a way to inspire others, have an impact on others, while I'm doing. I realize running is bigger than me. People ask me about running, who I let them know that this is much bigger than me. This running is way much bigger,
It's
like
boundless.
Boundless, yes. So it's more but just me just running out. It's a spiritual journey, I believe, for me. It's a way of connecting with people. They all do all parts of the world, And just like I see one of your shows, you interviews Sabrina Pace Humphrey.
Yes.
She was on my show also, and the connection of runners throughout the world,
Yes.
It's amazing how something simple as running, it connect people from different places.
I agree.
Yeah.
And just it's I was talking with someone else on the show last week, and that it's like this thing we do, we move our two legs. And that's it. That's all we're really doing. But somehow the experience and the transformation that you find through just doing that simple thing, it's this thread that connects us all.
Definitely.
It's really beautiful.
And push you. So this is mental aspect too. All depending on how much you run and what you want to go do, put yourself through. And not just your feet, but also your heart, your mind, how much you really test your limits, with this, And it's all about it's related to life, it just it make you stronger, you're willing to suffer, way to come back for more, so more just running your feet and more, it's a mental part of it too, the aspect of it too.
Absolutely. Kenneth, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. It has been a delight to get to know you. I'm so glad that you were here.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's allowed me to be on your show and allow me to get my talking on. And it share my journey, my little bit of my journey, my story, of running life, with you and your audience, so
It's been a pleasure.